Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Ricky Green, your host, here for Tide Talk Sports on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. In today's episode of Tide Talk, we're going to take a look at who, in my opinion, is the most talented defensive back prospect in the nation, hands down, regardless of position. And he just also so happens to be the final top target for the Crimson Tide's 2021 recruiting class. We'll take a look at Terrion Arnold starting right now. All right, want to start the show out with a question for our viewers. Get in the comment section right now and let me know what you think. Is it more important for Alabama to take a defensive back or a defensive end for this final spot in the 2021 class? I want you to comment DE for defensive end or DB for defensive back. I'll pin this down in the comment section, and I cannot wait to see what you all think about that. All right, got that out of the way, moving right along here. Today we are talking about Terrion Arnold. No doubt about it, even though the 247 Sports Composite Rankings doesn't say so, he is a five-star prospect in the eyes of Tide Talk Sports. And really, some of these recruiting analysts that rank these prospects have got to be smoking on some absolute gas, because to have Terrion Arnold outside the top 100, forget that, outside the top 25 players in the country is absolutely ludicrous. I'm telling you, this is a kid that checks every single box for a defensive back prospect. He can play any spot on the field, nickel, boundary corner, safety, either one, it doesn't matter. This kid can do it all. He is probably one of the most athletic prospects in the entire country for the class of 2021. And I am really hoping that this young man ends up playing his college football and basketball, I might add, in crimson and white. Terrion Arnold is ranked as a safety, and the 247 Sports Composite has him the fifth best safety prospect in the nation coming out of high school for 2021. He's 6 feet tall, right just under 200 pounds at this point, and played his high school football at John Paul II Catholic down in Tallahassee, Florida. And this young man is absolutely electrifying when he takes the field. He could even play offense and probably would be ranked as one of the best receivers in the country as well if he were an offensive prospect. Now, we've kind of filled everybody in on how versatile he is as a defensive back, can play any spot on the field as a DB. And talk just for a minute here about his other passion, another game that he's extremely talented at. Terrion Arnold loves the game of basketball, and he's got a chance, at least in my opinion, to play both should he commit to the University of Alabama. Now, a couple of weeks back, I was told that Nick Saban had personally taken over the recruitment of Terrion Arnold, and that is absolutely huge. There have only been a few prospects here in the past during the Nick Saban tenure that Nick Saban wanted badly enough to step in and completely take over the recruitment, and that's exactly what he's done in Terrion Arnold's case. Nick Saban, no doubt about it, is one of the best recruiters to ever do it. And with him taking over Terrion Arnold's recruitment, it just makes me feel that much better about the chances of Terrion Arnold committing to and signing with the Alabama Crimson Tide this upcoming February. Now, I haven't heard personally in the last couple of days if there's been any contact between Terrion and our basketball coaching staff, but I'm sure Nate Oates knows what's going on here and is very aware of this situation. Terrion Arnold is absolutely good enough to play football and basketball at the collegiate level, and in my opinion, is a guy that someday will hear his name called in the top 10 or 15 picks of the NFL draft. Terrion Arnold from Tallahassee, Florida, I've said it once and I'll say it again, is the absolute most athletic and probably most talented defensive back prospect in the country for 2021, regardless of position. Doesn't matter to me if you have him ranked as a safety or a cornerback or an athlete. He is the top DB coming out of high school as far as I am concerned, and no doubt about it, he is the #1 remaining target for the 2021 class for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, Alabama has quietly went about putting together a very solid class of defensive backs here for 2021. Before we get started talking about just a few of those guys here quickly, heading on into the end part of our show, getting ready to start wrapping things up, I just want to thank everybody for the support that you have shown us here on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel. It has been unbelievable. Myself, Stacy Blackwood, Jake Thomas, and the other guys at Tide Talk Sports are blown away by the growth that we've experienced here on our YouTube channel, but we're not done yet. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, I want you to do that right now and be a part of helping us reach our goal of having 3,500 subscribers here on our YouTube channel. Now, before we rolled all into that subscribe now stuff, we mentioned that Alabama had quietly put together a very good defensive backs class here in 2021. And I just want to quickly mention a few of those guys. Of course, headlined by a couple of #1s, the Quincy Kool-Aid McKinstry at cornerback coming out of high school. And then, in my opinion, the #1 junior college cornerback, Kyrie Jackson, coming from the JUCO ranks. And then we've got a couple of prospects that are either ranked as a safety or an athlete. And those are guys that are extremely, extremely talented as well. When it comes to defensive backs at the University of Alabama, everybody knows that that is Nick Saban's personal baby. He gets very, very much involved, hands-on with coaching our defensive backs. And I guess if you're a guy like Kane Williams or Kadarius Callaway, if you have an opportunity to come and play for the greatest of all time when it comes to defensive back coaches, why would you not? Kadarius Callaway and Kane Williams are both guys that, in my opinion at least, will play safety at the University of Alabama. But Terrion Arnold is a game changer at safety. He has everything that you look for: length, speed, agility, great ball skills, and is absolutely not afraid to come up and lay the wood if anybody tempts him for 60 minutes during a football game. Very excited about the potential that we have here for our guy rolling with the Tide come February's National Signing Day. Terrion Arnold, in my opinion, is the top defensive back in the country, regardless of position, coming out of high school. And I really, really think that it is a big deal that Nick Saban has got personally involved in his recruitment, and believe that ultimately that will be the deciding factor for Terrion choosing Alabama in February, if that's what he does. And my official prediction for Terrion Arnold is indeed that he will roll with the Crimson Tide this upcoming National Signing Day. Appreciate you tuning in for another episode of Tide Talk here. Did our recruiting thing today, and a prospect that we are just really, really blown away by. Terrion Arnold is the real deal Holyfield, no doubt about it. We'll see you next time on the Alabama Football News and Rumors channel here on YouTube, presented by Chat Sports. I'm Ricky Green. Roll Tide.